I think the question at hand is, why do I tithe? And to answer it, I'm going to share a little bit about me. The first thing I'm going to share with you is I owe my salvation to my husband, Steve, who, when we were sweethearts in college, showed me the importance of walking with Christ. And because it was important to him, I made it important to me. And through the years, learning to be a good Lutheran, I learned lessons about tithing. The other thing I'm going to share with you is I'm a rule follower. And to me, that was a rule that was clearly described in the Bible and one I was willing to comply with. It kind of felt like a condition of membership. It wasn't until I heard a sermon by Pastor Harless at Thanksgiving Lutheran Church in Bellevue, Nebraska, on tithing that I experienced a profound change in my philosophy towards tithing. In that sermon, Pastor Harless brought out a basket with 10 apples, and he laid them out on the altar in clumps representing the mortgage and insurance bills and clothing and all those other bills that we are required to pay in order to function in our society. And the last apple he withdrew from the basket was the one apple out of the 10 that represented tithing. And he proceeded through the sermon talking about life's events, that car that breaks down or that repair to the home that you must do. And every time that he talked about those expenses, he would reach down to the end of the altar and take a bite out of that one apple. And at the end, it was just this ugly core. And so I'm here to tell you that an apple core profoundly changed the way I think about tithing. In that moment, I realized it's not an apple core I want to give back to God in response to all the many blessings he gives to me. It's a big, red, juicy apple. And in that moment, tithing changed from something I felt I had to do to something I really, really wanted to do. So back to my awesome husband, Steve. He takes care of all of the bills in our household. He pays the rent, he takes care of paying the car payments and insurance and all those other things. He takes care of all of that. But he knows how strongly I feel about that tithing responsibility, that tithing opportunity, that he saves that for me. And it's his preference to pay all those other bills we have in our household online through electronic fund transfer. And I know that we could do that with our tithing as well. But honestly, writing that check every Sunday morning is something I would prefer to do rather than have it done automatically electronically. Because in the time it takes me to write Abiding Presence Lutheran Church on that 2 line, I also say a small prayer of thanks to God. And I hope that my offering is pleasing to him. I hope it's a big, red, juicy apple that pleases him.